Oh, what's going on today, folks? Out today in a pretty awesome ecosystem that I've had the opportunity to travel to today. I'm in a relict of the black soil prairies, and the black soil prairies, they're really cool because you see what black soil refers to is, of course, the color of the soil, but the reason the soil gets that coloration is that a result of the rich load of organic material in the soil. And the thing about organic material is that it holds water very well, better than, say, the sandy substrate that you run into in the sand prairies, and so given that, it kind of can give rise to a very cool gradient, excuse me, if you would, of herbaceous communities. Like you can see here, there's little slopes, little depressions and stuff, and basically that kind of that topography can affect the allocation of water as it runs through in the groundwater allocation, and it it just gets into the groundwater, and then plants drink it up, and it enters into, aquifers and stuff like that. Read up on the hydrologic cycle. It's pretty important. But what you need to be getting, basically, the gist of it is that these differences in topography can kind of give rise to differences in vegetative community, because that topography, it affects the abiotic factors, i.e. water, that allow plants to survive. So basically what we're going to do is just kind of talk about some of the plants we're seeing, and we're also going to be noting kind of like relative elevation positions. Like right now I'm in kind of a lower lying area. As you can see, a lot of the it's a very small property that I'm in right now, but a lot of the area, as you can see, is kind of uphill and higher in elevation. That's what the topographic maps indicate as well. But anyway, I'm going to quit just flapping my gums and talk about the plants. So what we've got right here is, of course, a lovely member of the Apiaceae. This is Eryngium yuccifolium, and getting ready to bloom here. As you can see, it's got those nice yucca-like leaves, giving rise to its name. Called rattlesnake master because indigenous people used it to treat rattlesnake bites. I'm not quite sure how that worked, or what rattlesnake that was done on. Gonna have to read up some more on the ethnobotany and such on this one. But a member of the Apiaceae, it's got a very compact umbel, you see. Very reduced pedicels, but still got that nice kind of hemispheric upside down umbrella type surface, or type inflorescence. Oh, someone's littered in here. That's fucking great. Anyway, right here is a wonderful member of the prairies, a poster child, if you would. It's one of the Silphiums. This is Silphium terebinthinaceum, the prairie duck. These guys will shoot up a pretty massive flowering spike because we are in the tall grass prairie, a relict of it. And you see, in order to survive in the tall grass prairie, you got to stick out a little bit above all that tall grass, which gives rise to this habitat's name. Got to watch my step because I don't want to damage this ecosystem too bad than what's already happened to it. It being completely fragmented from any other real populations like this. Anyway, what we got right here is another gorgeous Silphium. This is Silphium laciniatum, the compass plant. That one over there, that guy's prairie dock. This is compass plant. We'll see if we can find some other Silphiums, maybe perfoliatums hiding out in here as well. We'll have to see. But anyway, there you go. Those are both members of the Asteraceae. They both send out a very tall, quite notable spike of flowers. Unfortunately, I'm a bit early in the phenology for that to be occurring. Usually, usually goes down in like mid-July, something like that. There is, of course, an abundance of the Tradescantia ochiensis, which is a little bit past prime. You can kind of see it nodding off and getting ready to die, having produced seed and stuff. Let's see what else. Oh, we got some. Oh, it's a big toad down there. Oh, that's pretty cool. Who doesn't love a nice toad? Hope I didn't bother it too much. Oh man, what else do we got? Of course, we got some members of the Apocynaceae, like this right here. We got Apocynum cannabidum, the Indian hemp, the common dogbane. Lovely. Just a whole assemblage of lovely native plants. Another member of the Asteraceae right here, not quite in bloom either. Sorry about that, folks. This is Ratibida pinnata, the gray-headed coneflower. Also, we've got this guy right here. I'm calling this the mystery solidago. I believe this is Solidago rugosa or rigida. Not sure. Gonna have to read up on it. I didn't read up too much on the species that inhabited the prairie, more on just like the general ecology and the circumstances surrounding the formation of this kind of landscape. So we're just going on an adventure, I guess. This is a really cool shrub that I've been seeing also. I believe this might be a species of a hawthorn, a Crataegus, in the rose family. And what's telling me that is that it's getting this kind of fungus thing on it, this orange spot, and I've seen that a lot in other species of Crataegus. And so basically I'm just going to give this guy a real nice look over. Note the very silvery underside of these leaves as a result of this canescent fuzz. Not so much of that happening on the top surface. Of course, note the general shape of the leaf arrangement, and all that good stuff. Just to make sure that you can successfully identify the plant once you're out of the field, because sometimes when you're out there, you know, you just don't have the time. Anyway, of course, what else do we got? These right here, we got Monarda. I believe this is Monarda fistulosa. I saw some of those a bit higher up in the elevation in bloom. Maybe there's some correlations between the phenology and the elevation. I don't really know, though. It's just a gorgeous ecosystem. I'm very, very glad that this area has been protected as it has been, and I'm very, very glad that I'm fortunate enough and privileged enough to be able to come here. You know, it's absolutely incredible. Oh, God, don't you just love that? Here we got a nice, what kind of Asclepias is this? I believe this is an Asclepias syriaca. Pretty nice, you know, a nice common milkweed. Don't mind seeing that. We've got, of course, also got Coreopsis tripteris, the tall tick seed. That's another member of the Asteraceae. Asteraceae has got a lot of good representation in here. You know, you can really see why it's such a successful family. And oh my God, I can see amorphicanescence in the Fabaceae. We're coming to that, but you know, get a load of that nice native rose down there. I believe this is probably Rosa virginiana, judging by these straight prickles on there, and the general number of leaflets being 7. Well, actually, 1, 6. No, these are 9. I'm seeing 7. I'm seeing 7 to 9 leaflets. Let's get a load of that. Let's flip it around, get a load of these. The Hypanthium. Ooh, whoops, got that mystery solid egg on my face. Got quite a bit it's rather pubescent there. Interesting. Some sort of native rose there, not too sure which. Gonna have to do some work on that as well. You know, it's very, very biodiverse, and it's lovely out here. There are, of course, unfortunately, some invaders, like that guy right there. That's, I believe, crowned vetch, Securiega, whatever. Trust me, it's a non-native. I'm pretty sure it's invasive. Well, no, I know it's invasive. I've done work treating it. It's a bad guy. But, noting that, of course, there's also all this grass. That's all Phalaris arundinacea. That's a non-native. That's root canary grass. What I wanted to show you is right here is Amorphocanescens, the lead plant. I actually misidentified another plant as this in one of my earlier videos. I called like a Lespedeza, an Amorphocanescens. No, I was very wrong about that. Sorry if you noted that. But anyway, as you can see, this is a member of the Cisalpinoid subfamily, so you're gonna have to take my word for it. But those do, in fact, look like tiny little P morphology flowers, as you do with the band of the wings and the keel. And you know, it's got that gorgeous compound foliage covered in a canescent fuzz, which of course gives this plant the name Amorphocanescens. Canescent means, you know, it's got a nice silvery fuzz on it. Oh yeah. Got some of the non-native St. John's worts right there, I believe. Let me check these out. Actually, no, this is a different St. John's wort. Not sure what this is. Great. So as you can see, I'm completely out of my element here. Oh, look at this. We got a nice Dalea, though. This is probably Dalea purpurea, the purple prairie clover. That's another member of the Fabaceae. It's really, really cool. This whole spike will go off in a nice purple inflorescence. It's absolutely gorgeous. Oh man, what else do we got? There's so many gorgeous, gorgeous plants out here. Good gracious, folks. Oh, gonna need to take a bit of a breather, maybe. Probably not, though. Anyway, moving right along. Ah, yeah, there we go. This is what I wanted to see. Another member of the Asteraceae. Gonna be a lot of those in this, you know, because, well represented out here, to say the least. But anyway, Parthenium integrifolium right here, the wild quinine. As you can see, it's got these nice leathery leaves, you know, kind of, oh, Jesus Christ. Getting attacked by red-winged blackbirds. Anyway, it's got these lovely leaves with the nice toothed margins, and you can see it's got these very distinct aster flowers. Now, these are only disc florets. You know, they're very, very reduced. So, you know, it's very nice and identifiable about that plant. I don't know if that's the same quinine that they use to treat malaria. I thought that might have been like from the bark of a tree, but not too sure. Gonna have to do some reading about the ethnobotany and such. Oh yeah, so I'm kind of elevating a little bit. Let's see what kind of changes that brings. A whole lot more of the Coreopsis tripteris, I'll tell you that much. Good God. Okay. I'm gonna see what else we can find. So coming up in elevation is surely looking like a good decision, as I've managed to find this wonderful species of lily right here. I believe this is like Lilium philadelphicum or Lilium philadelphicans or something like that. But it's a lovely native species, and I was a bit bummed out when I first saw it, because as you can see, there's that orange mass right over there about. And that's a non-native lily. That's Hemerocallis fulva. We call that ditch lily in the business. And I think I see some more of the nice lilies right over there, right below the orange mass. So I might show you another one of these nice native lilies, and then show you the non-native ditch lily in comparison, just to let you guys know what's what. A little bit of an educational primer, if you would. There are, of course, massive anthills out here, which I am trying very, very carefully to avoid, as I don't want to be dealing with ants right now. It just seems like it'd be a bad thing to do overall. Right here we've got right there we've got another member of the Coreopsises, the Asteraceae. This is Coreopsis pinnata, I believe, the wedge leaf Coreopsis. Opposite leaves kind of look like a little chicken foot there. Pretty cute. Pretty cute. Oh yeah. Oh god. We've got some sedge action. Not even going to try to deal with it. And just some massive specimens of the amorphic canescence. It's really, really quite lovely, the amount of native plants that you're seeing out here. It's really cool that conservation efforts have managed to preserve such a high quality ecosystem and maintain it in such a good state, given that the surrounding area, from what I was seeing, is mostly just ag fields and stuff like that. Really cool member of the Euphorbiaceae right here. You know, very convergent with the North American cacti. This is Euphorbia correlata. This is in the poinsettia family, because, you know, the petals, or what you would call the petals in poinsettia, most people, they're actually not petals. I believe they're petaloid sepals. Pretty sure there's a very highly specialized vocabulary that you use dealing with members of the Euphorbiaceae, but I'm not familiar with it, so I'm not messing around with that right now. But anyway, it's a lovely, lovely plant nonetheless, monoecious, okay, which, remember, means that it'll have separate male and female flowers, but those flowers will be on the same plant. Okay, hang on. Pretty sure I've just found a very rare species of Baptisia. Gonna have to look around the nearby area for some flowers on that. But this guy is sending out, of course, very definitely Fabaceae vibes, you know, what with the nice tripinnate leaf. Pretty volutinous as well. Gonna have to survey the area, see if I can find some buds. Because, of course, when you come across a plant you don't really recognize, you want to go for the reproductive structures, because those will be the most identifiable. What do we got down here? Jeez, what is this? I don't even know. I'm coming across a lot of stuff I don't know. A little bit out of my element. Looks like maybe a little potentia, but these leaves don't look right. Could be a loose strife, maybe. Maybe a native lithrum, perhaps. Or a Lizomachia, don't really know. There's, of course, the Parthenium again. There you go. Got a load of those weird looking, very unique flowers, aren't they? See the little anthers poking out? Maybe? Maybe. I don't know. Oh, God. I'm just honestly, I'm taken aback because it is such a cool ecosystem, and I don't really spend a lot of time in prairies in general. So getting to come to one that's so high quality and so well maintained. Oh! There's a gosh dang, frickin', oh, God. Forgot my plants there. Asclepias tuberosa. It's not nice to point, you know. You got to refer to the people by their names. Oh, wow. Let's go check that out. Probably get back to the native lilies because I have gotten close. This red-winged blackbird's getting real mad with me, though. Might go missing out here. Don't really know. Anyway, stay tuned, full. Okay, well, I managed to move about half a step before finding something that was highly interesting and relevant to something else that I had talked about before. So sorry, but right here we've got the fruits belonging to that mystery Baptisia, which I was talking about. This guy with the tripinnate leaf. Look at these. Look at these legumes. Absolutely massive. Probably getting loaded up with seed. They're definitely not mature. They split open at maturity, you know. Yeah, but I'm just kneeling down in the prairie, taking a load of some legumes. Got the lovely Eryngiums, Crataegus. I can almost ignore this highly annoying bird, you know. Oh, God. Yeah, you can see. I think I'm definitely past flowering time on whatever species this is, which is unfortunate. But, you know, now that I've seen the fruits on it, I can actually probably get a good idea based on the fruits and the foliage, you know. Because fruits are, of course, reproductive structures. Anyway, let's take a gander at this lovely Apocynaceous fellow that we got right here. That being, of course, Asclepias tuberosa. Ah, yeah. The butterfly milkweed. What a dumb common name. Of course, you got your typical Apocynaceae hood and horn floral morphology surrounding the gynoecium. And of course, that crazy milkweed method of pollination, where you've got your aggregated mass of pollen into a pollinia, and of course you got to slide it into the stigmatic slit. It's crazy, man. Got to read up on that. It's very cool stuff. Can you please stop shrieking? Oh my god. Anyway, approaching. Oh, this is interesting right here. This is not native, but it is kind of cool to see. This really wispy character right here. Get a load of the stems. Do you know what this is? This is asparagus, right here. Not sure what the species name is, but I just know that this is what it looks like when it grows wild. Interesting. Growing in amongst all the lovely natives. That's Culver's root right there, by the way. Veronicastrum virginica. And you can tell it by that nice five-leafed whorl that it has about the central stem. I hope I don't run into poison. I don't know, poison anything really. Poisonous red-winged blackbirds. Jesus Christ. Oh man. Let's see what else we can get into, because I got to get to these. There's the nice lilies, and then I'll show you the Hypericum, the ditch lily. So much Eryngium. It's mayhem out here. Oh God. Isn't that lead plant incredible? I don't think I'm going to be covered in ticks, because the group that manages this area does prescribe burns, because that's an important part of the prairie ecosystem, of course. So you gotta maintain that. And there you go. There's that Coreopsis pinnata in full anthesis there. Lovely. There you go. There's a nice little native wood lily out here in the prairies. There's a good amount of them, so I'm gonna guess that you're getting some nice population, some nice variable genetics and stuff. Trying to keep it all nice and good. And trying to incur the invasion of the, not incur, but slow down the invasion of the Hypericum. But you can see right here, okay, with this native lily, you can see it's got this nice speckling at the base. That's to help guide the pollinators down in there, down to the base of the flower. It's got these nectar stored, and you can also see it's got a nice kind of whorled, alternate whorled inflorescence. Definitely whorled at the base of the flower, but as you can see at other parts of the stem, it is a little bit alternate. And now you see we'll go over to the Hypericum. Also note that that native lily, it only flowers in the at the terminal end of the plant, so you only get like 1 or 2 flower heads per plant. On these, you'll get multiple flower heads on a plant, like you can see in here. And also, by judging by the leaves, you can see this guy's coming out of a basal rosette, which is definitely not what you were running into with the native lily. And also, look at this flower. It's completely different. You don't have any of that speckling there. None of that. As you can see, the petals are also a lot wider at the base. On the wood lily, they kind of narrow and taper down as you go down. Oh, wow. What an incredible place. It's hallowed ground, I guess. Not just because of the nearby cemetery, but also because of this incredible piece of restoration. Radecchia hirta right there. There was a really nice, a nice campanula, a nice bellflower, I believe, somewhere in here. Not sure if I'm going to find it. Oh, here's another Silphium. This is prairie rosinweed, Silphium integrifolium. And then the last Silphium, which I haven't seen out here, and it usually sticks out a bit, is cup plant, Silphium perfoliatum. And you can identify that by its, of course, its perfoliate leaf structure. Meaning that, the leaves, the stem basically punches right through them. And, it acts as like a cup, which is where it gets that common name, because the leaves get pretty big, so that, that cup sort of structure, it can fill up with water. And I've seen little birds drink out of it. It's very cute, very nice. Where were those Monardas? Alright, I gotta go find these little guys in the mint family. Stay tuned for that. And here you go, okay? So here's your Monarda fistulosa. Absolutely lovely. Got a nice verticillaster inflorescence there. Very characteristic of the mint family. Red-winged blackbirds screeching as per usual. But also in the mint family, gonna note some nice characteristics about this to help you ID the mints. You're gonna see that nice square stem and the nice opposite leaves as well. You will also note that this plant, of course, if you rub it pretty good, Smell it, it's very, very aromatic. It's got a nice scent about it, you know, because the plants are loaded up with probably some manner of alkaloids to probably to deter herbivory, I would imagine, is the evolutionary reason for the presence of those in the plant. But they also make the members of the mint family taste pretty good. So there you go, Monarda fistulosa, member of course, the Lamiaceae, the mint family. Gorgeous, surrounded by the junk lilies. But yeah, an absolutely lovely reconstruction. Getting to see a lot of cool, nice little prairie species through here. Gonna see what else we can run into as I continue my lap through this small little prairie reconstruction. But you know, it's full of good stuff, you know. Size, you know, it's not the size of the reconstruction, it's what you pack it full of. Oh God, look at these monardas. Isn't that lovely? Stepping over the garbage Hypericum, and there's a native bee on that. Look at that, folks, getting some nice native pollination in the heavily fragmented landscape. Maybe that's I believe that's a bee in the Megachile family. Trying to get better with my bees, but you know, they're kind of difficult. I like the sedges more because they don't move around as much and they don't sting. They do cut though. Carex is, I believe that's Greek or Latin for cutter, which is pretty cool, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, let's go see what else we can get into out here in the glorious native ecosystem that is the prairie, the black soil prairie, that is, to be very specific. The fun thing about running around in high quality ecosystems like this one is that you run into characters that you might not be familiar with, so you kind of got to do a little bit of legwork in the field. This right here is one of those characters that I'm looking at right now. This is, I believe, a member of the genus Physostegia, the obedient plants. And I'm 98% sure that the common name on this is something like prairie obedient plant. See, my friends and I at work, we play this game called Name That Plant, where there's this giant-ass book full of all kinds of flora in it, and they just rattle off scientific names at me, and I answer what the plant is. It's a really fun game. But a couple days back, they hit me with a Physostegia species that I didn't recognize the name of, and I'm pretty sure I'm right now beholding it in the flesh, which is pretty neat. You know, it's got, like your Physostegia virginiana, it's got these very, very serrated leaves. And also this inflorescence structure is also very, very similar to Physostegia virginiana. But what's making me hesitate about calling this Physostegia virginiana is that this seems like the complete wrong habitat for Physostegia virginiana. Also, I've never seen Physostegia virginiana get this tall. But so, I don't think it's Physostegia virginiana. I think it's the prairie obedient plant. And I will look up what that name is at a later time and put it in this video. So there we go, there's the prairie obedient plant. Thanks for everyone that plays Name That Plant with me at work, because that really helps me out botanically. It sounds like a bad joke, but it's 100% honest. So there we go, we got ourselves an obedient plant. Takes lessons pretty nice. Here's another pretty cool plant over here. We're gonna talk about him next. This is Veronicastrum virginicum, the Culver's root. I think I showed this off earlier in the video, but it wasn't quite in bloom. So you'll note these nice whorled leaves here. It's got 5 per whorl. And then moving on up, we've got a beautiful spike inflorescence. And you can actually see, if you look closely at this, you can see the exerted anthers on the flowers. Those little brown things poking off of the white stick, those are the anthers, which are, of course, the male reproductive structures, blah, blah, blah. Those are what's got the pollen in them. You know, I've said all this before, and I think you guys probably get it at this point. But, yeah, so we're just going to keep running around, see what else I can find. So you might notice a kind of abrupt shift in the video, starting with that clip about the prairie obedient plant and the clips that follow it. That's because the clips before that are 2 years old from another time that I was running around out here. And in that time, I did, of course, make some mistakes because I wasn't as familiar with the plants as I am now. So what I'm doing right now is I'm working on correcting some of those mistakes, trying to really polish this video, because this is such a wonderful ecosystem, and it's just, you know, I'm trying to take more pride in my work, I guess. But I was calling this Coreopsis pinnata, and I was correct in that it's a Coreopsis, but its name isn't pinnata. This is Coreopsis palmata, okay, the wedge-leaf Coreopsis. What you're going to note, typical of the Coreopsis, are these opposite leaves. These ones coming into a nice 3 trilobe. I think I say in the older clip that it looks like a chicken foot. That's still solid information though. So yeah, very cool. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna take a gander at a goldenrod. Nice. I believe this is Solidago juncea, the early goldenrod, because this is the first goldenrod I've seen in bloom so far this year. Beautiful. Love that. You know, and the goldenrods are a very important group of plants. Goldenrod, it's kind of confusing. There's a bunch of different plants that get called goldenrods. You've got your solidagos, you've got the euthamias, which are the grass leaf goldenrods, and then you've got some guys in oligoneuron that are called goldenrods. The phylod, it's a little bit messy, you know, but a goldenrod, speaking generally, what's really cool about a lot of them is that they flower later in the growing season. Not the case with Solidago juncea, the early goldenrod, naturally enough, but I'll talk about the benefits of that later season bloom time. It's really important for pollinators, you know, because obviously as you're coming into the later season, it becomes increasingly important for you to get food for your, well, since these are native bees we're talking about and they're typically solitary, I mean food for yourself basically. So it becomes increasingly important to get that in the later season. And the solidagos provide a lot of those pollinators with a lot of good food later in the summer, in towards the fall. So these are a really beneficial plant to throw in your garden. And what's cool about a lot of the solidagos is that they're rhizomatic, which means they're colonial. So you'll see fields full of goldenrod, and that's actually just one plant cloning itself repeatedly through its rhizomatic network under the soil. Very cool stuff. So if you get one goldenrod, you're probably going to get more than one once it starts feeling itself, you know, starts feeling good and starts reproducing on asexually. That's cool stuff, isn't it? I think it's pretty damn neat. And it's a good, and you know, pollinators love it. And that should be enough to make you love it too. We got a pycnanthemum right here. I don't know. Let's see what species of pycnanthemum we're working with, because I've just grown to love the mountain mints because they're such a cool group of plants. I mean, I haven't really grown to love them. Love's a bit strong of a word, honestly. But anyway, moving right along. These are in the Lamiaceae, the mint family. So of course, what you're going to note is that they have a square stem. They've got opposite foliage. They've got a verticilla. Ouch! Damn it. That's a seed from Eryngium yuccifolium inside my finger. Ow. Verticillastre inflorescence. It's a bilabiate corolla, which means it's got 2 lips. Let me try to show it off a little bit more. Oh yeah. There you go. Three petals on the lower lip and then 2 fused petals on the top lip is, I believe, the way that those flowers are structured. But this is pycnanthemum. What you got to do is, I'm torn between 2 pycnanthemums right now, between Virginianum and tenuifolium, the Virginia and the narrowleaf mountain mint. And the way you distinguish those two is you check out the hairs on the stem, because tenuifolium is gonna be totally glabrous on the stem, and Pycnanthemum virginianum is gonna have hairs on the stem. So look into the stem right now. Give me a second. I gotta pause it and take a quick look. So it's got hairs that are only occurring on the angles of the stem, which is going to lead me to call this Pycnanthemum virginianum. There was a great black digger wasp hanging out on these a couple minutes ago. These are another hit with the pollinators, by the way. Another plant that would do wonders in your garden. You know, you got to throw more native plants into your garden. And that's in order, pretty much. Because, I mean, you know, it's just a good thing to do in general. I could talk about the benefits of natives in gardening for a very long time. They provide important habitat and food for your pollinators. They look better than a lot of the invasive garbage. They don't incur the same harms to ecosystems as a lot of the invasive garbage, given that they've evolved in this area, and so they have natural predators and balances to keep their population in check. Anyway, plant native, please, for the sake of all that's holy, because if I see you throw a honeysuckle in your yard, I'm going to hate your guts, and you're going to deserve it. Here's another gap in my knowledge from the earlier portions of the video. You might recall this. I was calling this mystery solidago. It's not a solidago at all, though it is still a goldenrod, because remember what I said, goldenrods are split up into a whole bunch of different genera. It's a big, fat, confusing mess. However, this is easy to ID. This right here, this is the stiff goldenrod, Oligoneuron rigidum. Beautiful. I believe, I mean, It's a goldenrod, so I wasn't 100% wrong calling it a mystery solidago, because some people still have the oligoneurons in solidago. But phylogeny is really confusing, and it's always changing, which is something really cool about science in general, I think. It's very, very fluid. There's no black and white in science. It's all just shades of gray. Very interesting stuff, and it really kind of changes your worldview when you stop thinking of things so hardcore and black and white, which is a serious problem I've got, but that's kind of my business, not yours. I just kind of like to ramble when I'm in these nice natural settings. But anyway, yeah, so the mystery solidago, the mystery's been solved. It's not a solidago, it's a oligoneuron regitum. Beautiful. Sorry I can't show it to you in bloom. Who do we got over here? I pointed this out earlier in the video as well, but it wasn't in bloom, so let's take a look at it while it is, shall we? This is, of course, Ratibida pinnata. Maybe this is why I was calling that Coreopsis pinnata. I don't know why I was doing that, but that's beside the point. This is Ratibida pinnata. It's a beautiful gray-headed coneflower. Gets that name because it's a coneflower and it's got a gray head, as you can see right there. Makes a lot of sense, don't you think? I sure do. Anyway, let's go see if there's anything else worth pointing at, and then I might just wrap this up, call it a video. And I'll close this video with, of course, with an indicator species for the black soil prairies. This, I'm sure I said it at some point earlier in the video. This is Silphium laciniatum. This right, oh shit, wrong leaf. Do I even know what I'm talking about? So you see these huge leaves with this wonderful dissected foliage. They're beautiful. That is Silphium perfoliatum's leaf structure, and this one's got some bees hanging out on it. Look at that! Looks like a native Melissodes just wrapped around the bract. Isn't that wonderful? I think bees are so cute, I scared it off. And then on the interior of the corolla, it's full of a bunch of beetles. God, the insect life is really happening on the Silphiums. But, like I said, Silphium laciniatum, folks. One of the poster child of the black soil prairie. So this is a lovely location. I wish there was more black soil prairie still extant, but however, it's all been ditched into agricultural fields. So, with that in mind, you know, stay positive out there because it's pretty bleak right now. Oh man. But you know, at least the natural world will always be open to those that, you know, want to get into it and you know, want to just learn about cool stuff like all these plants and animals and flora and fauna and mushrooms. This is definitely me rambling at this point.